वलितं मधुरं चलितं मधुरं भ्रमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरम् वेणोर्मधुरो वेणोर्मधुरः पानीर्मधुरः पादौ मधुरौ नृत्यं मधुरं सख्यं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरम् गीतं मधुरं पीतं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं सुप्तं मधुरं रूपं मधुरं तिलकं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरम् करणं मधुरं करणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं रमणं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं दृष्टं मधुरं श्रेष्ठं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा यष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरम् हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna Mataji. You sang so beautifully. Thank you so much. Okay, let's begin with our prayers. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupakatamayam Dadati Swapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So today we are learning about Srinivas Acharya. Actually, this PPT has both Srinivas Acharya and Shyamanand Pandit. Shyamanand Pandit will do the next. So we'll take one Acharya today. So we don't get to hear much about Srinivas Acharya. So we'll learn about him. So he was like the pioneer of a book distribution. They were the first book distributors. Narottama Das Thakur, Srinivas Acharya, and Shyamanand Pandit. They propagated Goswami scriptures, and he is also the one who composed the Chadghosh Swami Ashtakam. And let's learn about him. Okay. Srinivas Acharya is one of the most important personalities in the religious history of Bengal. Perhaps the most important Vaishnava teacher in the generation immediately following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His father had met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he didn't get the chance to associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He got the association of Gadadhar Pandit also for a short time. So, and Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami also, he could not get their association also. So he was actually very sad about all that. But then he became the Shiksha disciple of Jiva Goswami, because Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami had already instructed them to prepare, you know, instruct him and take care of him and help him to propagate the Vaishnava culture. He is chiefly remembered as the illustrious disciple of Gopal Bhatt Goswami. Gopal Bhatt Goswami was his Diksha Guru. Jiva Goswami is his Shiksha Guru. So both of them, uh, he learned a lot from them, and he also followed their instructions. So his achievements include delivering the writings of the Goswamis from Vrindavan to Bengal, converting King Birhambir to Vaishnavism, and originating the Manohar Shoy style of Kirtan. So actually, writings of the Goswamis, they had one copy. Those days. Today we have it online. We have database and we have so many books we can purchase anywhere. It was not so. Those were the scriptures. Original scriptures actually handwritten by Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. He was actually taking from the bullock cart to another place, and it got stolen also. We'll learn about that, how he recovered those. At Keturi, Bengal, he co-organized the first Gaura Purnima festival, celebrating the anniversary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance in this world, which Narottama, Shyamananda, and thousands of other Vaishnavas attended. So who are his parents? His parents are also devotees of Lord Krishna. They were quite very much devoted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His father used to go in ecstasy, chanting Chaitanya, Chaitanya, Chaitanya. He was also part of the hair removing ceremony when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking sannyas. Uh, Srinivas Acharya's father was there, and all of them felt very sad because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had very nice curly, black, long hair, and they saw all that. And he was feeling his Gadadhar Bhattacharya, Gangadhar Bhattacharya was his father. He felt like, what is the need for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai, to take sannyas? He's already so perfect. He's already perfect sannyasi. He is already so elevated. He's a perfect Vaishnava, and we all love him so much for whatever he is. So, but we know why he took sannyasi. The Brahmana Gangadhar Bhattacharya and his wife Lakshmi Priya lived in the small village of Chakandi on the bank of the Ganges in the Burdwan district of Bengal. They longed to raise a child who would be a great devotee, but until the birth of Srinivasa, they were childless for many years. They didn't have children for a very long time. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood that they had this desire in their heart, and he actually reveals it to somebody. He says, they are going to have a child very soon, very, very great Vaishnava. Gangadhara was himself a great devotee of the golden avatara Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the incarnation of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, predicted in the scriptures. In 1510, however, he could not tolerate the separation any longer. He set out for Navadvip to see the Lord of his life. After only 7 miles as far as the village of Katwa, he learned that Nimai of Nadia Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in that very village taking sannyasa, the renounced order of life. So he was witness to that. All the onlookers were like, stop this, what is this? They were like that. And then because he was saying Chaitanya, 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 people started calling him Chaitanya Das. So from Gangadhar Bhattacharya, his name was, everybody knew him as Chaitanya Das. They never mentioned to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that they had this desire. but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew. And he also says they should go back to the Chakandi place. See the appearance of Srinivas. In Chakandi, the couple had a beautiful baby boy whom they named Srinivas. He was born in the second or third decade of the 16th century on the auspicious full moon day of the month of Vaishakha, April-May. Lakshmi Priya's father, that is his mother, Srinivas Acharya's mother, Lakshmi Priya's father, Balaram Vipra, learned astrologer, told the happy couple that their son was a Mahapurusha, a divinely empowered soul. See, he had already disclosed this because he was a very great astrologer. He actually said this child is not ordinary. The boy had a broad chest and a long, elegant nose, and his beautiful eyes extended his lotus petals. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eyes also very big, the lotus petals. Like Lord Chaitanya, he had a bodily luster resembling molten gold and arms that extended down to his knees. According to custom, Chaitanya Das and Lakshmi Priya gave charity to the Brahmanas, and the Brahmanas blessed the child. So he grew up very nicely under the care of his parents, who were Vaishnavas, and he also learned everything from his teacher, Dhananjaya Vidya Vachaspati. He learned a lot from him, different subject matters he learned. Early education and travels. See, all this Srinivas Acharya, Shamanand Pandit, and then Narottama Das Thakur, and whoever we read about, we're not so qualified to learn about them at all because they're really, really very elevated. But we are very fortunate for having all this information about them. We're discussing about them. And it's also said they are all eternal associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were not at all ordinary. Srinivas Acharya was devoted to his parents. He was a very nice child. He was fortunate to hear both Mahaprabhu's divine glories as well as Radha and Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes from his father. The two of them go into an ecstatic state as they discuss these transcendental topics. Srinivasa's mother trained him in Kirtan. So he's very, very fortunate to have parents like this who are actually instructing him, you know, Bhagavad Dharma, and they are teaching him Kirtan. And it's a very nice Vaishnava environment he grew up in. He studied grammar, literature, and poetic theory from Dhananjay Vidya Vachaspati and quickly acquired mastery of all these subjects. He learned very fast. Almost all of them, if you notice, they're also scholarly and they have amazing memory also. Srinivas Acharya was devoted to his parents. This is coming again. Let's move on. The next one. Just repeating. Srinivasa's youth. Lakshmi Priya would constantly sing the glories of Lord Chaitanya into the child's ears, and the melodious sounds made him joyful. As Srinivas grew, he learned to chant the names of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna. And it is also said the goddess of knowledge appeared in his dreams. And then, she told him personally that I'm going to make you a scholar in all the scriptures. Imagine Saraswati appearing in the dreams and saying, I'm going to make you a scholar in all the scriptures. So how fortunate was he? Soon this small crescent moon known as Srinivas grew full and was known as the brightest and most beautiful boy in Chakandi. He studied under the famed Dhananjay Vidyavachaspati, who taught him all branches of Vedic learning, including religion, logic, poetry, political science, grammar, and Ayurveda. See what all they learn. It's like complete education. According to the Prema Vilas, Dhananjay Vidyavachaspati said that he had nothing to teach Srinivas. The Prem Vilas also relates that the goddess of education appeared to Srinivas in a dream and told him she would make him proficient in all areas of learning, especially the scriptures. Still, Srinivas became known as Dhananjay Vidyavachaspati's prized pupil, and as such, he was the pride of Chakandi. So he had a guru, but the guru was very proud of him. He said, I have nothing to teach him. He learns everything very fast. He already knows a lot. Okay, can someone read this, please? Hare Krishna.
Can I read, Mataji?
Yes, ma'am. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Not long afterwards, Srinivas's father died. The loss of his devotee father's association greatly offended, of, affected Srinivasa. But the other devotees made a uh, concerted effort to console him and his mother in their grief. Srinivasa took his mother and moved from Chakhandi to his maternal grandfather's house in Jagi,
Jajigram.
Jajigram. Shortly thereafter, he went to visit Narhari Sharkara in
Narhari Sarkar. Narhari Sarkar.
Narhari Sarkar in nearby Srikhanda. From Narhari, he learned that Mahaprabhu would shortly be ending his early pastimes. This news made Srinivasa determined to see the Lord before it happened. He quickly returned to um, Jajigram and took permission from his mother to make the trip to Puri. He then joined the devotees on the annual pilgrimage.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So this Narahari Sarkar was very, very close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Narahari Sarkar's intense devotion and his kirtan pleased Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so much. He would not, Mahaprabhu would not allow anybody to sing his praises in front of him. He would not do that. He had already instructed that, his Charanamrit also he didn't want anybody to drink. It was like that. But he had actually given Narahari Sarkar that privilege. He could actually sing in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His glories he could sing in front of him. That's the only person he allowed. And and Narahari Sarkar, in his humility, with all his humility, he would just sing very beautifully. And then this is what made him very popular. Everybody knew Narahari Sarkar is very, very close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Srinivas Acharya, when he came in touch with Narahari Sarkar, he took him as his guru, instructing guru. He learnt a lot from him. And then also, whenever he heard Narahari Sarkar, he would go into ecstasy. Before arriving in Puri, however, the news arrived that Mahaprabhu had indeed ended his Leela. Srinivasacharya fainted at the news, and when he came back to consciousness, he decided to commit suicide. Narottama Das Thakur also, he left his home, he walked and ran and traveled such long distance, he barely ate anything, whatever was available, little bit food, once a day or once in 2 days, whatever, no, little he ate, drank some water, somehow he reached Vrindavan. But then he didn't meet anyone because where is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He was like very, very impressed to know that they're not there. How do we see them? Because he had heard so much about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wanted to see him. He wanted association of all these great, um, all the Goswamis and all. So he felt very, very, he decided to commit suicide only. He was so depressed. However, the Lord himself appeared to him in a dream and told him to complete his journey to Puri. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna. He's in everybody's heart. He knows our desire. If this is what we desire, we'll definitely make sure that will happen. So now he was like this, very sad. So he appeared in his dream and he says, we must go to Puri. Once in Puri, he again had a dream in which he saw Jagannath, Subhadra, and Balram, as well as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his associates. So he got another dream, all auspicious signs that he is on the right path. He should continue his journey, go to Vrindavan, go to Puri. He has very important work to do. Actually, Jagannath, Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're all same. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna in the mood of Radharani. The bhav is the separation from Krishna. And the color also is same. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was gold and whitish, Gauranga. And Radharani was also like that. Very beautiful complexion. So this is Vipralamba Bhav, the mood is love with separation. That's what he was experiencing. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is left. Meeting with Gadadhar Pandit. He meets Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit is none other than Radharani only. Can someone read this, please? Hare Krishna.
I'll read, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Meeting with Gadadhara Pandita. The incarnation of Mahaprabhu's pleasure potency, Srila Gadadhara Pandit Goswami met him and both of them were immersed in an ocean of ecstasy. Srinivasa also met Raya Ramananda, Paramananda Puri, Shiki Mohiti, Sarvabhauma Pandit, Vakreshwara Pandit, Govinda Shankara Pandit, Gopinath Acharya, and received blessings from them all. When Srinivasa returned, he heard that Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu had also disappeared. Once again, he determined to end his life, but the two Prabhus appeared to him in a dream to assuage his grief and had him give up his intention. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So in his dreams, they all come and meet him. See, Advaita Acharya, Nityananda Prabhu. He also has a dream about Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. They also appear in his dream. So Gadadhar Pandit, he's also quite old now. And, he wants to hear Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. So that's very interesting. That happens in Tata Gopinath temple. And that is Radharani himself. Let's see what happens now. Can someone read this one? Hare Krishna.
Shall I read, Mataji?
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Gadadhar Pandit said, I am glad you have come and introduced yourself. He said, just before passing away, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told me to teach you the Bhagavatam. He knew you would arrive in Puri one day and he asked me to explain Krishna Leela to you. Gadadhar Pandit's joy, he could now fulfill this order of the Lord, again turned to sadness. I cannot teach you Bhagavatam at this time, O young Srinivasa, he said, for the manuscript in my possession has become illegible from the tears I have cried onto its pages. Sri Gadadhara sent a message to Narahari Sarkar in Bengal asking him to secure another manuscript of Srimad Bhagavatam. Narahari replied that another copy was available and that a messenger should be dispatched immediately. Gadadhar sent Srinivasa himself and told him to hurry. The separation from Lord Chaitanya was intolerable, he said, and he didn't know how long he could stay in this world. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit, they used to discuss Bhagavatam. They used to read Bhagavatam. There are this particular canto, 7th canto, Prahlad Maharaj pastime. They would read that and Mahaprabhu will say, read again, once more, read once more. And he would keep reading and every time there are tears. Because of the tears, the manuscript is getting wet. And it's becoming, all the letters are being erased, it's getting illegible. So he says, I cannot read because this is the problem I have. And then he comes to know that there is one more copy. Narahari Sarkar has one manuscript of Srimad Bhagavatam. He says, that copy is available and messenger should be dispatched immediately. And then Gadadhar Pandit sent Srinivas himself. He said, hurry, go, bring it. Because there is no time. Bring this and come. And then he went, and then Gadadhar Pandit also leaves the world. He also is not available for him later on, and he feels even more dejected. First of all, he couldn't meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he couldn't meet several people that he wanted to, and now Gadadhar Pandit also is no more. So, no more in the sense he leaves his, they wind up their pastime and go back. So he feels again very sad, but then he has at least a copy which he has to save very carefully. And there are others with whom we can discuss. He didn't see Nityananda Prabhu also. Association with Navadvip devotees. Okay. Srinivas was enthralled with the home of Sri Chaitanya in Navadvip, Mayapur, where he met Vishnu Priya Devi, the Lord's revered widow, and her esteemed servants, Vamshivardhana Thakur, and Ishana Prabhu. They all blessed Srinivas and he stayed with them for several days, hearing the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. So he was so fortunate to actually meet Vishnupriya Devi, who was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's consort. So he arrived in Bengal and then he got the copy of Bhagavatam from Narahari Sarkar. And then they were actually, taking all this to Bengal. They have to take all the copies. They were taking, and on the way it gets stolen. So we read about that. During those days, when he stayed with Vishnupriya Devi, what happened, we'll see. He watched Vishnupriya Devi perform severe austerities. For example, she would chant the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Over each grain of rice she was to eat. When she was finished with her daily chanting, she would eat only the grains she had set aside. Truly, Srinivas said, this is a wife who was worthy of Sri Chaitanya. Imagine the austerity, the absorption in Krishna they have. Today we want to finish off our rounds. We have 4 more rounds left, 2 rounds left. We have finished 5 rounds left. We are worried. We want to finish the rounds and we want to chant as much as possible and properly. We're trying. We do our sadhana. But here, we are all sadhakas. And imagine this austerity, what she's doing. With every grain of rice that she was supposed to eat, she would chant and then collect the rice and cook and eat those. Really great. Srinivasa also met Damodar Pandit, Shuklambara, Murari Gupta, and other early friends and intimates of Lord Chaitanya in Navadvip. From there, Srinivas went to nearby Shantipura, where he was warmly greeted by Sri Advaita's wife Sita Thakurani and her sons Achyuta and Gopal. So he met a lot of devotees, all great devotees who were very closely associated with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Vishnupriya is Lakshmi herself. Srinivas as Gaura Shakti. Srinivas reminded the great personalities in Puri of Lord Chaitanya because he looked like that, the complexion and the absorption. He was reminding everyone of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Seeing his intense and unprecedented love of Godhead, the devotees could understand that he was Gaura Shakti, the embodiment of the energy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. According to the Prema Vilas, Srinivasa is an incarnation of Lord Chaitanya's ecstasy. Wow. The Lord's intimate associates could naturally perceive this and could understand that through Srinivasa, the eternal message of Lord Chaitanya, the message of the Vedic literature, would be widely distributed. And he actually did that. Let's see how he preached. Srinivasa meets Janava Devi. Janava Devi is the wife of Nityananda Prabhu. Then Srinivasa visited the house of Nityananda Prabhu in Kardavu, where Janava Devi, her son Veerabhadra, and others greeted Srinivasa as if he were part of their own family. And Janava Devi encouraged him to start for Vrindavan without delay because Rupa and Sanatana would soon rejoin the Lord in the spiritual world. Janava Devi, she was also a great preacher. She said, you must go and meet Rupa and Sanatana as soon as possible because they are also going to go back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are binding their pastime. And then all these devotees, when they meet, they have so much love for them. It is as if somebody from their own family has come. See, when we receive guests, we know that they're going to leave in 1 hour, 2 hours, or if it is more than 2 days, we'll wonder when they're going to leave. But the love they share is something on another platform. On the way to Vrindavan, Srinivas stopped at the well-known Abhirama Thakura's house in Hanakul Krishnanagar to deliver a letter from Janava Devi. The Thakura greeted him with 3 loving lashes from an extraordinary whip. But this unusual greeting was a benediction. The whip, known as Jai Mangala, would bestow love of God on anyone it touched. It's a unique way of, greeting someone. Imagine being whipped. So that is actually a mercy that we give him love of Godhead. Whoever touched the bit, get love of Godhead. So many great devotees is meeting. Journey to Raja. Can someone read this, please? Hare Krishna.
Shall I read, Mataji?
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Meanwhile, Sanatana Goswami had left this mortal world, and Rupa Goswami could not bear the separation. Sri Rupa felt that he too might not survive to instruct Srinivasa, so he asked his distinguished disciple and nephew, Jiva Goswami, to care for Srinivasa. Srinivasa reached Prayag, known today as Allahabad, and spent the night there. 4 days before arriving in Vrindavan, he heard that Sanatan had passed away 4 months earlier. And when he reached Mathura, he learned that Rupa Goswami had passed away only 3 days earlier. Srinivas fell to the ground crying like a madman. He felt himself the most unfortunate person in the universe. He had failed to meet Lord Chaitanya and to study the Bhagavatam with Gadadhar Pandit, and now he had failed to meet Rupa and Sanatan. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. See, in this material world, we lament for so many things. We lament for material relationships, material objects. Something breaks, we cry. All this unnecessary thing. But actually, you see, in the spiritual world, there are feelings. Arjuna was also expressing, this is what I'm feeling. And his hair was standing. And then he was wonder, when he saw the Vishwarupa Darshan, the mood was of wonder, So many, he expressed how he felt, how dejected he was. There were tears in his eyes. All these feelings are there. Spirituality doesn't mean we'll become like stone. There are feelings, there are emotions, but it's all towards, targeted towards Krishna, channeled towards the devotees of Krishna and Krishna himself. So if there is anger, it is directed towards, protecting Vaishnavism and stuff like that. And here he's lamenting for the right reasons. He was like, he didn't get to meet Sanatana and Rupa Goswami, both of them. He was like, what is this? So he cried like a madman. He actually is lamenting. Separation from devotees, separation from Krishna. This will bring tears to a devotee, actually. So that is real. That's what we should cry for, actually. I have to cry for Krishna, cry for the association of devotees. And then now, let's see. While Srinivasa sat beneath a tree wishing for his own death, Rupa and Sanatana appeared to him on the pretext of a dream and told him he was the embodiment of Lord Chaitanya's love. So they actually come and talk to him in his dream. He is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's energy, love. They encouraged him to proceed to Vrindavan to take shelter of Gopal Bhatt Goswami and to study under Sri Jiva with all his life and soul. They said, please go ahead, go learn from Gopal Bhatt Goswami, take his shelter, and to study from Jiva Goswami. So he actually met Jiva Goswami only. And then we know Gopal Bhatt Goswami, we have heard about him. We did, just recently we had Gopal Bhatt Goswami's session also. He was the one who had those Shaligram Shilas. One of the Shaligram Shila became Radharaman DT. So he was the one. And the pastime where they met, Gadadhar Pandit and Srinivas Acharya, with Tota Gopinath temple. In the Tota Gopinath temple. Tota means garden. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in a garden one day and he knew that there is Gopinath over there, and that's how the temple came into existence. The deity Gopinath is there. And then when Gadadhar Pandit, as he grew old, he could not really worship properly. He could not put the garland properly. He could not reach the deity. And he was actually struggling to do all the seva. That's when the deity sat down. You see, Gopinath is sitting. Usually Krishna is standing, but this Gopinath is sitting. So that's the temple. That's where Srinivas Acharya met Gadadhar Pandit. So now comes the interesting pastime. He came to Vrindavan, toured the 12 forests, and took Diksha from Gopal Bhatt Goswami. Sri Jiva Goswami taught him the complete philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Wow, how fortunate is he! Acknowledging his vast learning, Sri Jiva gave Srinivas the title Acharya. So until now, he was just Srinivas. He became Srinivas Acharya because Jiva Goswami gave him that title. And this Shamanand Pandit also, his name is Dukhi Krishnadas. So Dukhi means what? Your Dukhi means sad. So actually he got the name Shyamananda. Shyama means Shyama. Ananda means bliss. Shyamanand. So his name was changed. Accepting Sri Jiva's order, Srinivas and his two friends, Shyamanand Prabhu and Narottama Das Thakur, pioneered the first transcendental book distribution party. Brajabasi Sankirtan Party Ki Jai. They took a bullock cart of the Goswamis' devotional writings from Vrindavan, passed them out all over Bengal and Orissa. So Srinivas Acharya initiated many disciples, Ramachandra Kaviraj and others, and then wrote songs full of bhakti. He was the one who wrote Shat Goswami Ashtakam. We'll sing that after some time now. And introduced a special kirtan style. When leading kirtana, he would sometimes lose his voice from chanting so long. Continuously you chant and chant and chant, you lose your voice. So that's what happened when you kirtan, you could see that. So what happened when they were taking bullock cart full of books, original scriptures? Rupa Goswami wrote Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, and then there was Hari Bhakti Vilas and Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and there's so many books, right? Prabhupada has translated all those for us. So easy to read. We just have to find time. We save more time. So we have to, whenever we have time, a little bit, we have things to do. We keep chanting. At the same time, if we are, if we feel like, okay, now there is some time for something, then all we have to do is start reading these scriptures. Never waste time. There's no time actually. If you see, there's no time for other things. If you notice, chanting, listening to kirtans, learning new kirtans, reading all these scriptures, there's so much. Every time we read, there is something else we are learning. So it is taking us closer and closer towards Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada has made it so easy for us. So he is the one who's translated all this for us. So what happens is, there are these dacoits from the kingdom who are actually dacoits who belong to the king, Bir Hambir. They come to know that this cart has jewels. They have things more valuable than jewels, gold. So they think something very precious is in these carts. So they steal all the books and everything. And they were not one or two. They were very big gang came. So just three of them could not do anything. And they came, they took all the books and went away. When they found out, they lamented because they didn't know what to do. How do we didn't have, like, how do we again get those back? They were very much worried and they prayed. But ultimately, it's all Krishna's will. Krishna has a way of doing things. The books were missing, but they become several copies later. How does that happen? We'll learn. So what happens is, this Bir Hambir, when he takes the books to the coins, bring the books, they start reading them. They can't understand anything. They're like, this is all you found? Where are the jewels? Where are the precious items? They said, this is what was there. So they start reading, they can't understand. And there is this person who is Vyasacharya, starts giving lectures on all these books. He's trying to explain, and he's not giving a proper explanation. All half-baked things. He's saying something that's coming from his own mind. The things were not perfectly done. So what happens, Srinivas Acharya is actually looking for these books, and he comes across a person who actually tells him, there's this person in the palace who gives lectures on all these scriptures. And then he goes there, out of his association, he gets there somehow. And then he tells, you're telling it's, I can explain all this. So Birambir says, every time you give a lecture, this person is objecting. So I want to hear his lecture. Let him only speak. So when Srinivas Acharya starts explaining, everybody goes to bliss. Even the walls can melt. It's like that. Then Birambir says, yes, this is what it is. Now I can understand everything. He's explaining very nicely. And the king gets so enamored and he goes into ecstasy also. Then after hearing from him continuously, he surrenders to him. he says, I want to hear from you. And he gives him such very beautiful room to stay and beautiful bed. And he accepts him as guru. And then he says he takes initiation also from him. And he's ready to do anything for him. So Srinivas Acharya says, please return those books because we are actually looking for those, and this is what happened. We'll be very, very, um, you know, grateful to you. And then he says, sure, sure, why not? And then he makes employs people actually, because of him they can make copies also, because they have the King Birhabir's support now. The Vaishnava culture is being propagated, and so many people are hearing Bhagavatam, and the books are being copied. So he has more support from the king also now. See, earlier they had only one copy, now they had more. So this is what, see, it's all because of Krishna's mercy. So it looked like it was a bad situation. It became a very beautiful situation now because more people were becoming Krishna conscious. Besides his external activities of preaching and writing, Srinivasacharya practiced intensive Raganuga Bhajana. Raganuga Bhajana is the spontaneous internal worship of Radha and Krishna based on the mood and sentiments of the eternal residents of Sri Vrindavan Dham, such as the gopis. While doing Manasi Seva, actually some supernatural things also happened with Srinivas Acharya. Because when we do Manas Puja, it is all done in the mind. We read in Krishna book also. When Vasudev wanted to give cows in charity, he was in a prison. He could not give cows in charity. Practically, it was not possible. But mentally, he donated. He gave charity to Brahmanas. Same way, mentally, Manasi Puja. Sometimes when physically they cannot do, in their mind they worship. And whatever was done mentally would manifest outside. That is something, miracle. It's a miracle. While doing Manasi Seva, service to Radha Krishna, within one's mind in a mentally conceived spiritual form, what happens? He would often bring tangible paraphernalia from these meditations back with him upon returning to external consciousness. How can that be possible? Things just appear. So, how beautiful. He also had two wives. He was a Grihastha, and his wife's name was Draupadi. Usually, we don't get to hear this name so often. They say it is a Diksha name also. Initiated name is different from the real name. Actually, her name was Ishwari also, and then there was one more wife he had. Those days, it was allowed to have more than one wife, and they were all Krishna conscious Vaishnavas. Her name was Padmavati. Padmavati and Ishwari. Both were devotees of Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Once Srinivasa sat Lord Gauranga on a jeweled throne within his mind, then he worshipped the Lord with a golden handled chamara wisp and a 5-flower garland. Pleased with his service, Gauraraya offered the garland back to Srinivas, who then immediately awoke and lost the meditation. A surprised Srinivasa found the sweetest flower garland he ever smelled hanging around his neck when he returned to external consciousness. How did this garland even appear? 5-flower garland, which wasn't there before. After he went into meditation and Manasik Puja was happening, when Gauranga Mahaprabhu returned the garland in his mind, it happened. But when he opened his eyes and came to his external consciousness, the garland was present. So this actually happened. Then we have heard about stories like this. There was this Brahmana who prepared kheer in his mind, but because he wanted to offer bhoga to the Lord, he prepared kheer and he wanted to check if the kheer is hot, and he put his finger, he was checking, and his finger burned. And when he came to his external consciousness after the Manasi Puja, his finger was actually burnt. So, it manifested on his body. But actually, the essence of this is anything done with devotion and love, Krishna actually accepts, whether it is done in the mind also. We make bhoga, we keep in front of Krishna, we are saying some mantras, we make sure, it is offered, and we hope that he is accepting. But Krishna says, whatever you accept with love and devotion, that's what I will accept. So, we have to offer with bhakti. That is more important, more than the item itself. The Holy Leela. Can someone read this, please? Hare Krishna.
I'll read, Mataji. Holy Leela. Another time. Is it time, Mataji? Yeah.
Yes, time.
Another time, Srinivasa was in his Siddha Swarupa as Mani Manjari watching Srimati Radharani. Sri Krishna and the gopis in the holy Leela, joyfully throwing colored powders and dyes on each other. The gopis told Mani Manjari to supply colors to Radhika and side with them in their war against Shyama. The earth shook from their furious battle. Srinivasa's meditation abruptly broke. His body was completely covered from head to toe with fragrant and exotic rainbow colored powders imported from the spiritual world. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hari Bol. This is just something that we can't even imagine. Imagine this person who goes to meditation, comes back, and he looks like this, covered with colors. Something that's
Yeah.
really glorious, Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes, amazing person. Srinivasa's daily activities. The activities of Srinivas Acharya can fill volumes, and they have several books offer details of his daily life in Vishnu Puran Jajikram. In the early morning, he would read from scriptural books explaining and interpreting them for his disciples. The study of these books would occupy him until 10 o'clock in the morning, then till 2 in the afternoon. Till 2 in the afternoon, he would chant on beads in solitude. 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock. Imagine that. Occasionally worshipping Krishna according to his inner meditation. From 4 o'clock to 6 in the morning, he would perform congregational chanting with his disciples. The form of Kirtana for which he became famous is called Manohar Shoy. Some say it is the only authentic classical style that has survived. At night, he used to instruct his disciples and talk with them of Krishna's pastimes. So in the night, he used to sit and discuss with his disciples and discuss Krishna's pastimes. One day, Prabhuji was also saying in ISKCON, in the evenings, night, they discuss Krishna book after dinner and all. They have early dinners and all sometimes. They have milk and they keep reading Krishna book and discuss pastimes from Krishna book. So in ISKCON also, they follow all this. See, this day is filled with this kind of activities only. Completely filled like this. So we have to check, are we wasting time? Are we wasting time? We can have to keep checking, It's really amazing. His literary work. It is said that Srinivasa composed only 5 songs. He also wrote a commentary, studied and respected to this day on the 4 essential verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. His other works include the famous Goswami Ashtakam, 8 prayers to the 6 Goswamis. Though his literary work is spare, its content and style are nectarian. It has left a unique mark on the Gaudiya tradition. So his daughter was Hemalata Thakurani. She also was a great preacher. We don't hear much about Matajis in Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, but there were Janava Mata was there, who was Nityananda Prabhu's consort, and there's Hemalata Thakurani, who was Srinivasacharya's daughter. She initiated several people, men and women, into Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. So there were some great Matajis also who actually were, propagating Krishna consciousness. So next is Shamanand Pandit. We'll stop this. And Nirja Mataji, will you sing Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. I will open that.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Red Goswami. Eight prayers. 6 Goswami.
Yes. Shall I start, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna everyone. Shat Goswami Ashtakam. कृष्णोत्कीर्तनगाननर्तनपरौ प्रेमामृताम्भोनिधि धीराधीरजनप्रियौ प्रियकरौ निर्मात्सरौ पूजितौ श्रीचैतन्यकृपाबरौ भुवि भुवो भारावहन्तारकौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ नानाशास्त्रविचारनैकनिपुणौ सद्धर्मसंस्थापकौ लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मन्यौ शरण्याकरो राधा कृष्ण पदारविन्द भजना नन्देन मत्तालिकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ श्रीगौराङ्गगुणानुवर्णनविधौ श्रद्धा समृद्धन्वितो पापोतापनिकृन्तनौ तनुभृतं गोविन्दगानामृतये आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनैकनिपुणौ कैवल्यनिष्ठारकौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ त्यक्त्वा तूर्णमशेषमण्डलपति श्रेणीं सदा तुच्छवत् भूत्वा दीनगणेशकौ करुणया कौपीनकन्ताश्रितौ गोपीभावरसामृतप्तिलहरी कल्लोलमग्नौ मुहुः वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ कूजत् कोकिलहंससारसगणा कीर्णे मयूराकुले नानारत्ननिबद्धमूलवितपा श्रीयुक्तवृन्दावने राधा कृष्णमहर्निशं प्रभजतौ जीवार्तदौ यौ मुदा वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ संख्यापूर्वकनामगाननतिभिः कलावसानीकृतौ निद्राहारविहारकादिविजितौ चात्यन्तदीनौ च यौ राधा कृष्ण गुणस्मृतेर्मधुरिमा नन्देन सम्मोहितौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ राधाकुण्डतटे कलिन्दतनया तीरे च वंशीवते प्रेमोन्मादवशादशेषदशया ग्रस्तौ प्रमत्तौ सदा गायन्तौ च कदा हरेर्गुणवरं भावाभिभूतौ मुदा वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ हे राधे व्रजदेविके च ललिते हे नन्दसूनुकुता श्रीगोवर्धन कल्पपादपतले कालिन्दिवाने कुता घोषन्तौ इति सर्वतो व्रजपुरे खेदेर्महावीवलौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ 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 इति श्रीनिवासाचार्य विरचितं षड्गोस्वामी अष्टकं सम्पूर्णम्। हरे कृष्ण माताजी।
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hari Bol Mataji. You sang so beautifully. Thank you so much.
Thank you Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So next week we'll meet for Shyamanand Pandit. We'll learn about Shyamanand Pandit. Hare Krishna. Thank you all.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
पांचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.